The erotic spark, or a permission structure to hate great movies. When I learnt through Ayanda of Audre Lorde's work on the erotic, reclaimed from its detached sexual...
The word I was looking for here was connotation.
Instead returned to its place in describing that which brings us joy in all its forms, including sex, eros or love. It put a name to a phenomenon I'd experienced on my year of reviews and observation. There were some classic, iconic movies that I had only just found that didn't work for me. I could see every single reason why they were successful. I even enjoyed the parts I was supposed to enjoy. You know, the little inflection points that people would be so glad I enjoyed. Did you see do you remember the bit with the thing? Yeah, loved it. But they never stuck with me, despite sticking in the lives of so many people I loved and respected. There are films that are in some way indelibly linked to the period in which they were seen. My Gen X friends speak of the original Star Wars trilogy in very different terms than I do, and millennials do about the prequels. I still haven't quite attached to The Godfather. It's an odd, distant appreciation that isn't quite attached to my soul. However, I don't think temporal context is the only culprit. I finally watched To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Film, technically, before my time. That film belongs to me in a way that Goodfellas doesn't. As does Singing in the Rain. As does 2001: A Space Odyssey. Sometimes you really are being talked to by a filmmaker directly, and an understanding is achieved. Why then do I not feel talked to in these other classics? I could get on a soapbox and decry the deifying of male storytelling to men as being the definitive culprit. I could say it has to do with the narrowing of legitimate cinema and resources only to a few new Hollywood enfants terribles whose work is indelibly marked with the European brands of successful art, but that leaves little room for much else, except that Cape Fear also spoke to me. Drive also spoke to me. Sometimes male stories actually are universal and not forced at all, which is where I return to the erotic, the eros, the love. There are films that are spoken in a language of love that only other people can hear. Each unique expression of a film seems to me decides not how it communicates, only that it does, and it finds its potential lovers just as randomly. Next time you find yourself wondering why you didn't click with something, remember that storytelling might just as well be dating. And sometimes someone's story just doesn't spark joy, and ultimately there's no logic to be found in it. Only feeling. Footnote. You may wonder the purpose of an assertion like this segment. Boiled down to its simplest state, it is, you just like the stuff you like. Well, alas, very annoying people exist in this very annoying world who feel threatened by the idea that there may be not some universal order where everything they adore is adored by everyone. Fearing exile, they seek to conform everyone's tastes to their own and denigrate and dispel those who may have campier, brighter, differing, or even just slightly less enthusiastic tastes than them. For them, perhaps this is a moment to introspect and ask themselves whether they need the world to make sense and conform to them, or whether that is yet another tactic of control in an uncontrollable universe.